live video commencing in about keyboard and mouse versus controller. Which one should you do? Which one should you start off? And should you ever switch? I got the answers you need right now. Coming live from Lorenzo Kun headquarters from a fine rack of ribs.
Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, what's good with you? I'm the fine rack of ribs. Welcome to the channel. But today we're gonna discuss keyboard and mouse or controller, which one should be best for you, and
if you should switch or not.
Yeah, he's biased, so he's not gonna be in the video. What are your pros and cons of
keyboard and mouse? I got hella buttons.
Okay. So it's like such as
my key binding options are way more unlimited, you know? Way more vast than controller, unless you got a scuffy.
Yeah. How's the movement feel when you play?
It's pretty ass, but you get used to it.
So compared to a controller's movement, do you think keyboard is better?
No. Why? Controller's movement is better because you get a full 360 with your analog sticks.
I mean, I've seen you full 360 on Cold War.
But you gotta have crack sense. You have to have crack sensitivity.
I feel like I'm having an interview. You're the interview.
It is the kid.
Okay. I know with your keys you just set you set them up with your keybinds, but do you get confused sometimes when you have your keybinds? Do you click on different keys instead? Nope.
When I first switched, it was difficult, yeah, but it's like learning to ride a bike or doing pretty much anything. Muscle memory. And once you get that down, it's...
So, was it today when we were playing, was it Vanguard when you kept on clicking a button by accident? Because you're so used on another game, or was that yesterday when we were playing Cold War?
Yeah, it was yesterday, because yesterday I switched my, my prone key and my melee key around.
Okay.
So I was clicking prone instead of melee.
So your muscle memory, we kept on going to that one.
Yeah.
But I had one.
Aiming is definitely better on keyboard and mouse simply because you're using arm and wrist or arm or wrist. But I'm not gonna knock aim assist. There are some pretty cracked players who got some fucked up aim. And when I say fucked up, I mean absolutely fucking dank. That shit's unbelievable.
Because I know I tried playing keyboard and mouse one day. I mean, he won't let me do it. Because I'll mess up his KD, and that's very precious. But yeah, you can play on my controller, and I can let you fuck up my...
You asked me to.
And you asked me if I wanted to play keyboard and mouse, and I said yes. And you're like, okay, now you're getting off because you're fucking up my KD.
She died 30 times in a row with no kills.
Yes, I did. I had 11.
Yeah.
I had 11.
No.
I had 11. I died 20 times. I remember.
She went 11 and 20.
Okay, look, first time on keyboard and mouse, that is not bad.
That is terrible.
First time on a keyboard and mouse.
That's terrible.
For me, with my tiny little hands.
Terrible.
Shut the fuck up. Cap. I know, first time when you play keyboard and mouse, you were ass, right?
I didn't play Call of Duty my first time on keyboard and mouse. I started keyboard and mouse on Fortnite. Technically Minecraft, but...
Okay, but when you were playing on Fortnite, were you ass?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so. I couldn't build or shit.
Point proven.
But my aim was on point. I just couldn't build.
I was trying to figure out how, in my head, I was trying to, when you do muscle memory, that's what I was trying to do. Was trying to get all the buttons down first.
It's gonna take you months to develop muscle
I know,
memory.
that's why I was like, fuck, wait. Because I kept on trying to run, but then I was like, how do you slide? How do you do this? I was like, in my head, I was going over and over again instead of paying attention.
Controller!
You want to switch spots for this?
Yes. I'm going to ask you so many questions.
So many questions. Oh, God.
First question.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. My name is...
Did you not know your name, sir?
Nice to meet you. First question. This is completely opinionated. There is no right or wrong answer. Which would you prefer to be cracked on? Keyboard and mouse or controller? Keyboard and mouse or scuffy?
I feel like if your aim, you're doing keyboard and mouse, your aim would be really immaculate, but it's also different than controller because all the buttons that you have on.
I need an answer, shorty.
I would go ahead and say scuffy right now.
Scuffy?
I want to do keyboard and mouse. I want to get cracked on that, but I want to be cracked on both, but I'll choose scuffy.
Okay. What are some pros about using controller?
I like the move. It's kind of easy, yeah. I mean, for me. I mean, my sensitivity is so high. It depends on your sensitivity because I started out at an 8 and then I started going up, and then right now I'm a 14 and you can't play on that. A lot of people can't even play on 8. I just thought it was slow. The movement, I like when I play Colt, I like the slide. It's just I just feel like it's easier. Except for you know how you turn on your keyboard and mouse, how quick you do it? I can't I try and do that. That's why I keep on turning my sensitivity up as well, because I can't really do that. Not as fast, not yet.
I can give you a pro about controller. All the buttons are in the same fucking place.
You can change your buttons on it.
Yeah, but you have a regular ass Xbox controller.
Like
I fell in love with Xbox controller. Mine comes with 2 back buttons. I don't know. I got it. She got it from Walmart.
Yeah, we got it from Walmart.
It has 2 back buttons that I can bind to something. I don't know. I've never used it. Don't plan on using it for any competitive games besides fighting games because I'm cracked at fighting games. But all the buttons if you play claw, you're essentially just a keyboard and mouse on a controller. I mean,
I can deal with an Xbox controller. The only thing that throws me off is the curve. I don't like it. That's not the point.
The point is all the buttons are right here. So what is generally the most used peripheral in gaming? A controller. Essentially, when you pick up a controller for the first time, you don't have to look at the controller. Like everyone knows, if you're playing on PlayStation, that's square, X, circle, Y, or triangle, you know? Like it's just, and then you got the D-pad, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. I mean, like you got the triggers, and I just feel like, all right, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Will I ever go back to controller? Fuck no. Why? You see these big ass fucking hands? These are meant to be used on a keyboard and mouse. The average keyboard and mouse player will tell me I can press any button on my keyboard effortlessly.
Yeah.
If I really wanted to, but I don't, because you know what I mean, I don't need to. We're way off track here. We're way off track here.
Next question.
What do you think is more expensive, keyboard and mouse or controller?
Controllers.
You think controllers are?
I think it depends on what kind of keyboard and mouse. It depends on what kind of controller. Cause scuff shit are expensive. I know, like your keyboard, like you have right now, not that much, but I know there's some that are.
I'm gonna break it down for you. They're relatively the same price depending on custom made and all that. My keyboard and my mouse are a separate deal. So together they cost about the same price as a really good scuff controller, which is about $200, $300. So at the end of the day, you're paying the same amount for keyboard and mouse or controller. That's if you go with some good shit. You can go for some mid shit. I got me like a $10 membrane keyboard sitting right here, but I don't think you want to play on that. And you can get like a fucking Logitech mouse with no side buttons for like $20. That's what, $30?
Yeah.
Without tag. This was $30. This was $30, and it comes with back button.
My
PS4. Outrageous with the prices. Come on now, get like Xbox. They break in like a week anyway. And that's another reason why I stopped. Another con about controllers. I'm not sure if everyone experiences this, but when I did play on controller, I would go through a controller every 2 weeks. So I'm spending more to play video games than I would like. So I just bought a keyboard and mouse, and I had one keyboard for about 2 years, same mouse for about 2 years. I can't say it's the same for everybody, but that's a con for me. I break controllers like it's nothing. Not by smacking them, throwing them, beating them, kicking them, jumping on them, using them as they are intended to be used for. So I don't, but especially the analog sticks, man, don't get me talking.
Yeah, the analogs, yeah, that one is hit or miss. I mean, I've had my controller for like, yeah, I know. I know.
What are some cons you have about controller?
The fucking drift I have.
Is that about it? So the pros and cons for the controller is better movement. Your buttons are all in a compact area. You relatively don't have to look down to see what you're doing.
When you first start playing, yeah, you're gonna keep on playing.
I mean, obviously, if you've never touched a fucking video game in your life, you're gonna have to.
It's like multitasking and
hand-eye coordination.
I just said it backwards. What's the difference?
The cons about the controller is, depending on how much you spend on them, they will break. Now for keyboard, the pros and cons for keyboard: long lasting, a little bit on the pricey side, but there are some good alternatives. I can link a keyboard that I used for about 2 years. It was a 60% RGB clickety clack. My friend Grayson actually has it. Best keyboard in the game if you're a beginner. Link in the description. It is affiliate link, so you know what I mean. If you do buy it, you feed my rack of ribs over here. You know what I mean.
I like
They're long lasting depending on how much you throw at it. There's different sizing options, and there's hella buttons. And they light up. What do you mean? Like, they light up, bro. The ones I recommend light up.
Like things that light up.
Nowadays, if you type in gaming,
see your background, you see this.
Nowadays, when you type in gaming keyboard, what you gonna pull up is the first thing it's gonna say is RBG mechanical keyboard. Matter of fact, RBG Gaming Mechanical Pro Keyboard. I kid you not. That is like one of the first things you'll see if you type in gaming keyboard. Same thing for the mouse. Mouse is relatively the same as keyboard. You can get a big one, small one, light one, heavy one, adjustable one like mine. This shit gas. It got weights on the back, and it light up, and it got 3 buttons on the side, DPI switches, you know.
We get it. It's gas.
It's gas. At the end of the day, it's personal preference. I do recommend you switch to keyboard and mouse, but that's me. That's an opinion. I feel like keyboard and mouse is kind of superior, but that's if you're willing to, you know what I mean, take the learning curve from switching. In my opinion, hey, bro, I'm not even gonna cap to you. It's the best thing to ever happen to you in the gaming community. Unless you got hacks like Aiden. We don't do that around here. We pay fair and square. Now, if you do stay on controller, I do recommend you get a Scuffy. Scuffy should replace every fucking controller out there. You know what I mean? It's just it should just be the norm. Scuffy should just be the norm. Not even Scuffies. Fucking what are them things called? Paddles should just be the norm. I don't know why paddles aren't the norm. Now I'm gonna explain the learning curve from switching from controller to keyboard and from keyboard to controller.
Sucks ass.
It depends on the person. Me, when I switched, I did nothing but play video games. I didn't stream, didn't make content, I just played. So every day for about 8 hours, be on keyboard and mouse. I mean, it didn't take me that. It took me about 2.5 months to like decent enough to where I'm not going negative in COD and Fortnite and shit. But it depends on the person. If you have patience, then shoot for the stars, aim for the moon. Now, if you ain't got patience, put that keyboard away and pick back up your controller because it ain't for you. Now, if you switching from keyboard and mouse to controller, honestly, there really isn't a learning curve. Unless you've never picked up a controller or never seen a controller, it's not really much of a learning curve. Because nowadays, you can set binds to your controller. So setting key binds wouldn't be new to you. The only thing that might be an issue for you is button timing, aiming, and sensitivity. But other than that, there really is no actual negative to either one because they're both pretty good at the end of the day. The gaming scene has adjusted to the liking of both controllers and keyboard and mouse players, which I think was needed a long time ago. If you really want to ask me, I feel it's a little more balanced. I do be getting shit on by keyboard by controller players. I mean, I ain't gonna cap. I do be getting sauced and niggas be breaking my ankles and I'm like, huh?
I think I broke your ankles once.
Hey, shut up. We don't speak about that.
I'm getting there to beating his ass.
You got a long way to go.
Okay, look, I'm more than halfway there. Okay.
Less than halfway there, shorty.
I'm more than halfway there.
All right, give me a swag G Fuel and some
What am I
nice
gonna get you
music.
G Fuel for? You don't need it.
Yeah, because she's afraid of the outcome. But
Why are we
anyway,
gonna get G Fuel when you get fucking like excited and shit over fucking coffee? Like you're good.
at the end of the day, it's personal. Woo! English master right here. You know what I mean? I grew up in an English household.
What?
It's I said it.
Preferable?
Personal preference at the end of the day. Don't let our pros and cons sway you in any direction, even though that's kind of the point of this video.
Yeah, coming from a keyboard and mouse player.
You should just switch to keyboard and mouse.
Or stay on controller.
Keyboard and mouse.
You know what? You play controller one day and I'll play.
Well, that's not fair because I've played on controller. I used to be good on controller. It'd take me like a day or two to get back into it. That would not be fair.
I mean, you can't play on my sensitivity. You can't change any of my.
That's not fair.
No, because I can't do that shit to yours, and I still have to learn keyboard and mouse.
I was gonna let you change the sensitivity, just not the binds. Anyway, it's been real from me and the rack of rib. Switch to keyboard and mouse.
No, you don't have to if you don't want to.